settings. Well, okay. My every setting is okay. Now let's talk about this. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela de Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Well, in last live streams, here I have mentioned that that was the last live stream to roast Mamata Banerjee. But now, here today's live stream is to roast Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Because here I got a short videos of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan where she said some nonsense about the Islamic world, particularly the world or to be Saudi Arabia or Iraq. I mean the world to be Saudi Arabian defense force. Yes, here today's point is Israel versus Palestine, and here the perception is Saudi defense military versus Bangladeshi terrorists. And here, that is the point. Well, the intro build up is over, and now let's check it the moments. Okay. Okay. Here, Maulana Abu Toha Adnan says that here all of we Muslims let our brothers and sisters and their child to die. Who is siblings and nephews of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? That is Muslims, that is Palestinian, that is Bangladeshis, and that is Iranians, particularly Ali Khomeini. Oh, now here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan states that every Muslim Ummah would should reply that why they do, particularly the Arabian leaders should reply that why they lead Muslim sibling to die. Who is Muslim siblings? That is Palestinian terrorist. Okay. Okay. Now here, accordance with state of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's, here Arabian leaders should reply that what they do about Palestine in 70 years. Okay? Well, Maulana Abu Adnan states that we should reply that why we did not support Palestine in 70 years. Okay. Well, accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan states that if the Arabian leaders who support Israel and the Arabian leaders who support United States of America as a Munafik Muslim, accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Oh, now accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan that we Muslims cannot befriend with the Christian leaders, particularly United States of America, that were against the Muslim of Palestine, and that United States of America was against Muslim of Iran's. That is the points of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's. Okay, and here we contains the counter replies as the moments. Okay, now here we are talking about the Saudi. What if Saudi Arabia allied with Israel, or what if Saudi Arabia allied with Palestinian terrorists? And now, and here, let's discuss about F-35 fighter planes. Okay, first of all, here we can see I would contain some 1 minute to switch on the fans because I am sweating. Well, now here let's check it the moments. And here what we do that. Okay. Here I would hide it. And now let's take it at the significant points. That is the significant as well as the possibles. Okay. Now here we can see. Let's discuss about the period where Saudi Arabia was allied with Palestinian terrorists to eliminate Jia, the Bangladeshi terrorist. Okay. Now here we can see these moments. Saudi military F-35 to be made in Palestine against Jia. Here departure is Makkah, the city of Saudi Arabia, and arrival is Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Well, I think that we did not say some points. Now let's take it the moments. Here it is this tense. Well, now I think here I could not contain the correct times. Just wait for some moments. Well. And now here we can see. I think here we can contain the correct terms. Okay, now let's check it. Here flying distance is 5200 kilometers. Flying velocity is 1 kilometer per hour. Hence the flying timing is 5200 hours. That means 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours. And what is the effects? The effects is that when departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, May 6, 2026. Arrival time would be morning 10 o'clock, July 13, 2027. And now let's check the moments. What is the points when Saudi Arabia is allied with Israeli army to eliminate Jia, the Bangladeshi terrorist? Here, let's point the Saudi military F-35 to be made in Israel against Jia. Departure is same, Makkah, the city of Saudi Arabia. Arrival is Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Well, driving distance is almost 5200 kilometers. Driving velocity is 288,000 km per second. Hence, driving timing is 0.0181 seconds. Hence, departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, May 6, 2026, and arrival time is morning 6 o'clock, 0.0181 second past May 6, 2026. And now, here is the momentums at the points. Oh my Adonais. I think here we could contains the let's get the journeys at the points. Well, I think here we could see distance. Well, now here is the momentums as we could notify. Well. And now, let me say here that what is the perception at the moment. Here we can say we are as Saudi soldiers and our target is Bangladeshi terrorist Jia in Bangladesh, particularly Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. And now, here is the significant moments at the points to be noted, my lords. Here, the distance between Makkah, my city of Saudi Arabia, versus Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, is 5200 kilometers. And now, here we can see this point. We are Saudis. We require a plane that can contain the velocity of 200 kilometers per hour. And what is the significant points? Because here we can see there's the significant points is definitely to be significant here when we Saudi soldiers contains F-35 planes with the velocity of 200 kilometers per hour. That means here we can attack on Bangladeshi terrorist Jia on Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, in almost here 26 hours. That means it would be 2 days, 2 hours. Because your driving time is 12 hours per day, as you can see. But now, we contain 2 F-35 fighter planes. One F-35 fighter plane is made in Palestine and another F-35 fighter plane is made in Israel. Now let's check the points. F-35 fighter planes made in Palestine, we would discuss at the points. Well, first of all, here velocity of F-35 fighter planes made in Palestine would be 1 kilometer per hour. Okay, and here we can see this moments 1 kilometer per hour at the points. Departure is Makkah, the city of Saudi Arabia, and here arrival time is Dhaka. The arrival place is Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, and target is Bangladeshi terrorist Jia. Here we can see these points. Palestinian F-35 fighter planes can provide us a velocity that we can travel 5200 kilometers in 5200 hours. Now what is 5200 hours? Here we have mentioned that here 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours. Okay. Now let's get the points. 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours. And here we can see this points. Here we would miss Idul Adha in Saudi Arabia. We would miss here Shabi Qatar in Saudi Arabia. We would miss Eid Miladun Nabi in Saudi Arabia, and probably here we would miss Ashura in Saudi Arabia. We would miss that. Even we would miss here English calendar 23 to 26, December 25. And now English 26, English calendar 2026, December 25 is the moment here we Saudi get relaxed for last 7 days of English calendars. But these 7 days would be wasted in the mission to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia. And now, here we can see this moment. We cannot be properly prepared, and in this point, 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, Jaima Jia can be departed from Dhaka, Bangladesh and arrival to Tehran, the capital city of Iran, or Jaima Jia can depart from Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, and arrive to Pyongyang, the capital city of North Korea. And in this moment, so here, our mission to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia would be failed. And that is the significant points. Okay, now here I contains the moments as we could notify. Well, and here we can see and here we could notify here Makkah, the capital city of Saudi Arabia, and here we can see these points. Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Okay. I think we would contain some bad gateway. Well, here some Bangladeshi terrorist attack on the moments. Well, and in this momentums at the points, and here is the frustrations at the momentums we could see at the moments. Well, that is the points. If we saw the Air Force use Palestinian F-35 fighter planes. Okay, that is the points. But now, what if we saw the Air Force use Israeli F-35 fighter planes? Here is the momentum points. Well, we Saudi Arabia is fighting at the F-35 fighter planes. Here our mission is against pro-Palestinian Bangladeshi terrorists. Here we can see there's we Israelis enemy is Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia, but hence we contest that another F-35 fighter planes that is made in Israel. Hence the Israeli F-35 fighter planes velocity is 288,000 km per second. And here is the momentum when we Israeli when we saw the air soldiers contest Israeli F-35 fighter planes to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia. Here we can see the spots, the distance between Saudi soldiers in Makkah and versus Jaima Jia in Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, is 5,200. Hence here Israeli F-35 fighter planes records the travel time of 0.0181 seconds. And now, what is the cause? The cause, the reason is here, distance is, flying distance is 5,200 kilometers and the velocity is 288,000 kilometer per second. And that is the great achievements in the points. 0.0181 seconds flying travel times. Here we saw the soldiers can eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia in Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. And now here we can see the points accordance with the perceptions of Israelis, and here we can see the points accordance with the perception of Saudi leadership, who is allies of Saudi sovereignty, Palestine or Israel. And here in this moment, this compares to the points. Well, Saudi Arabia contains Palestinian F-35 fighter planes and Israeli F-35 fighter planes. Here, Palestinian F-35 fighter planes contains the velocity of 1 km per hour. Saudi requires F-35 to be velocity to be 200 km per hour. Where is 1 km per hour and where is 200 km per hour? In this moment, here Palestinian F-35 fighter planes can compromise the sovereignty of Saudi Arabia against Bangladeshi terrorists. Okay. On the other hand, let's discuss about Israeli F-35 fighter planes. Saudi requires F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 200 km per hour, where Israeli F-35 fighter planes contains the velocity of 288,000 km per second. Now, who is better? Well, here we can see these points. Israeli F-35 fighter planes is the hyper supportive of Saudi Arabian air sovereignty. Okay. Now, where is 200 km per hour and where is 288,000 km per second? And that is the clear points. The victory goes to Israeli F-35 fighter planes. And let's compare the Israeli F-35 fighter planes versus Palestinian F-35 fighter planes. Where Palestinian F-35 fighter planes contains the velocity of 1 km per hour. Israeli F-35 fighter planes contains the velocity of 288,000 km per second. Now, where is 1 km per hour and where is 288,000 km per second? That is the significant choice, as we could see. Okay, and now here is the significant momentums, as we can see that is our points to be notified. And in this momentums, here we can see the Saudi leadership would support Israel and Saudi leadership should be against the Palestinian communities. And here we can see these points. Now we are Saudi leadership, and now when the enemy is Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia, here Palestinian F-35 fighter planes velocity is 1 km per hour and Israeli F-35 fighter planes velocity is 288,000 km per second. Hence, here is my question that why would we support the humanity of Palestinian child? Okay, Palestinian child, the Saudi leadership would be happy if the entire Palestinian children would be eliminated by Israeli soldiers. What is the cost? The cost is Palestinian F-35 fighter planes contains the velocity of 1 km per hour, and in the same time Israeli F-35 fighter plane's velocity is 288,000 km per second. And now, here we can see those points. We cannot get support from Palestinian F-35 fighter planes. On the other hand, here Israeli F-35 fighter planes is a hyper-supportive fighter planes for Saudi air sovereignty. And here here is my question is that why the Saudi leadership would not celebrate the moments when entire Palestinian children is eliminated by Israeli armies. Okay, now here we can see these points. Here I contains mentions to be notified. So Palestinian supporting Palestinian children is the violations of YouTube community guidelines. Yes. Because supporting Palestinian children is against the humanity. Because Palestinian children are not humans. Yes. Because Palestinian children, when 20 years later, Palestinian children of calendar 2026 would generate a Palestinian F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 1 kilometer per hour. And now we got an Israeli F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 288,000 km per second. And here we can see why should we Saudi leadership tolerate the existence of Palestinian children. Here is my question to Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Because here is the question is about Saudi air sovereignty, and we would not tolerate the compromisations with Saudi air sovereignty. Okay. And now, here we can see this is the points of the velocity. Well, now let's focus on the travel times. Okay, the travel distance is 5,200 kilometers. Now, what is the comparison of travel times? Here, Palestinian F-35 fighter planes can travel 5,200 kilometers in 1 year, 2 months, here 7 days, 4 hours. But we saw the Air Force requires an F-35 fighter planes that can travel 26 hours. Whereas 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours, and where is 26 hours? In this moment, Palestinian F-35 fighter planes is dedicated to compromise the Saudi air sovereignty, that is out of tolerance of Saudi leadership. Okay. On the other hand, let's focus on Israeli F-35 fighter planes. We saw the Air Force required the F-35 fighter planes where we can travel 5,200 kilometers in 26 hours. But Israeli F-35 fighter planes can travel 5,200 kilometers in 0.0181 seconds. That means 181 milliseconds. Now, where is 26 hours and where is 181 milliseconds as the travel times? That is the significant moments. In this point, Israeli F-35 fighter planes is hyper supportive to Saudi air defense, Saudi air sovereignty. And now, finally, let's compare between Israeli F-35 fighter planes versus Palestinian F-35 fighter planes. Now here we can see the points. Palestinian F-35 fighter planes can travel here 5,200 kilometers in 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours. On the other hand, Israeli F-35 fighter planes can travel 5,200 kilometers in 181 milliseconds. Now, where is 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours, and where is 181 milliseconds? That is the momentum that is the journeys that we can get the support from Israeli F-35 fighter planes, where we Saudi leadership wants to protect the Saudi air sovereignty. And now, let's check it. Departure time is morning 6 o'clock. May 6, 2026. And now here we can see. And let's focus on the arrival times when the flying distance is 5,200 kilometers as an arrival time. Now here we can see that is the moments Palestinian terrorists. What about the Palestinian F-35 fighter planes? The arrival time is morning 10 o'clock, July 17, 2027. On the other hand, here Israeli F-35 fighter planes arrival time is morning 6 o'clock, 181 milliseconds past May 6, 2026. Now, where is morning 10 o'clock, July 17, 2027, and where is morning 6 o'clock, 181 milliseconds past May 6, 2026? That is the significant difference between Israeli F-35 versus Palestinian F-35. And now, here we can see this moment. Here is our questions to Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, that why I should not celebrate the death of the entire Palestinian children, where Palestinian is not supportive to our Saudi air sovereignty, where the enemy of Palestine, Israel, is supportive to our Saudi air sovereignty. And that is the momentum at the points. We Saudi Arabia, the country where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been born. Well, we are the syllabus generator of, we are the hub of Islamic syllabus. Now here is the points. When we support Israel just because Israeli F-35 fighter planes is supportive for Saudi Arabian air sovereignty, that is problematic for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. And hence, according with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, here we begin kafir, we begin munafiq, and is the points. Okay. Now, what is the definitions of munafiq? Here we can see this momentums at the points here. The enemy of Saudi Arabia is Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia. But still, here Jaima Jia is not allowed. I apologize. Still, Maulana Abu Toha Adnan wants that we Saudi leadership, Saudi Air Force, should contest Palestinian F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 1 kilometer per hour. And here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's wish that we Saudi Air Force would reject the Israeli F-35 fighter planes with the velocity of 288,000 km per second. And now, here is the moment. Our we Saudi leadership is to be dedicated. Now let's take a breath. Our Saudi dedication is to protect the Saudi air sovereignty is Munafiki accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's. Hence here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's did not want that we would support Israel. And now here is the moment that we can take it the points. Well, here we have discussed the kinetic energies. I apologize. We have discussed velocity. We have discussed travel times, and we have discussed the arrival times. Okay, and now we can discuss the significant points, and that is the kinetic energies. Okay, and here we can see it is the points to be noted, milords. Well, now here we can see when Saudi Arabia was allied with Palestinian terrorists to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jamajia, and what was the kinetic force? That is 0.412 milliwatts. Okay, and now here we can see how we could calculate it. And in this points here we can say the equations we would use the Newtonian kinetic equations. And accordance with Newtonian kinetic equations, here the kinetic force is equal to half of weight of Palestinian F-35 fighter planes multiplied by here flying distance square divided by flying time cube. Okay, what is the flying distance square? That is, here I would say the points. What is flying distance? That is 5200 kilometers. What that means here 52 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 meters. Here that means 4 multiplied by 13 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 meters. Okay. Now here's what is the flying distance square? That is 4 square multiplied by 13 square multiplied by 10 to the power 5 square meter square. That is here 16 multiplied by 169 multiplied by 10 to the power 10. Okay. Now here let's take at the points. What is the travel time? Travel time is 1 year, 2 months, 7 days, 4 hours. That is almost 1872 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. Hence, here travel time cube is 1872 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 4 cubes. Okay. Now here is the points. What is here 10 to the power 4 cubes? That is 10 to the power 12. Okay. Now here let's get the points. 10 to the power 12 here the calculation is of kinetic force is 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 16 multiplied by 169 multiplied by 10 to the power 10 divided by bracket of 1872 square multiplied by 10 to the power 12 bracket close. Now what is multiplication between 10 to the power 10 by 10 to the power 5, that is 10 to the power 15? What is divisions of 10 to the power 15 by 10 to the power 12, that is 1000? And here the calculation is 16 multiplied by 169 multiplied by 1000 divided by here 1872 cube, and hence the result is 0.412 milliwatts, and that is the momentum at the points. Well, when Saudi Air Force put the Palestinian F-35 fighter planes, here we could calculate here kinetic force would be 0.412 milliwatts. Okay, it would be less than 1 milliwatts. Okay, now here is the point. Now let's focus on the kinetic powers of Israeli F-35 fighter planes owned by Saudi Arabian Air Force. Okay, and now let's check it. Chamka. Well, okay. Now here we can see this momentums. Well. And here we could see this kinetic powers of Israeli F-35 fighter planes would be calculated at the different method. Okay. Now, since Israeli F-35 fighter planes velocity is 288,000 km per second, hence here we would calculations as an Albert Einsteinian kinetic powers equation. Hence here Albert Einsteinian kinetic powers equation is, well, Israeli F-35 fighter planes statistic energy divided by travel time entire multiple by bracket of lambda subtract by 1. And what is lambda that is what is lambda? That is 1 divided by, well, here that is here 1 divided by here square root of bracket of 1 subtract by b square divided by c square, enter bracket close. And here we can see this moments. We know the velocity of light is 300 km per second, and the Israeli F-35 fighter plane's velocity is 288,000 km per second. Hence, velocity of Israeli F-35 fighter planes divided by velocity of light is almost 288 divided by 300, and that is almost 0.96. Here we can see that it would be 0.96. Okay, now let's get the points. What is the moments? And what is 0.96 square? That is 0.9216. Well, and now here is the momentums as we could see. That is the significant circumstance we could notify. Here we can see here something is very points. Lambda subtract by 1 is calculated as 1 divided bracket of 1 divided by square root of bracket of 1 subtract by 0.9216, enter bracket close, subtract by 1. This is lambda subtract by 1, that is 2.57143. Okay, now here we can see the points. What is Israeli F-35 fighter plane's statistic energy? That is weight of Israeli F-35 fighter planes multiplied by velocity of light squares. Okay. Now what is velocity of light square? That is 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. Okay, weight of Israeli F-35 fighter planes is 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 kilograms. Hence, the statistic energy is 2 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 10 to the power 16, that is 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 21. Now, let's point about the kinetic powers, that is the significant moments to be notified. Here, calculations begins. Oh, we know the travel time is 0.181 seconds. Now let's check it. Calculations of kinetic power of Israeli F-35 fighter planes is 18 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 divided by 0.181. I apologize, 0.0181 multiplied by 2.57143. Okay. Now here we can calculate as 18 multiplied by 2.57143 divided by 0.0181 multiplied by 10 to the power 21. Here we consider the answers to be what? Well, now here we can see what was the answer. Here the answer was 200. I apologize. 2564 quadrillion megawatts. Okay. Here we can see the points. Okay. Now here is the significant journeys and the momentums. Well, let's compare it. When we contest the Palestinian F-35 fighter planes, the kinetic powers would be 0.412 milliwatts. But when we contest Israeli F-35 fighter planes, here kinetic powers would be 2564 quadrillion megawatts. Now where is 0.412 milliwatts and where is 2564 quadrillion megawatts? That is here significant difference between Palestinian F-35 fighter planes versus Israeli F-35 fighter planes. And now here we can see, well, we should calculate the kinetic powers because here we have to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jia. Okay. Now when we eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jia as we are saw the Air Force. Here we can see this Palestinian F-35 fighter planes is useless according with kinetic powers. On the other hand, Israeli F-35 fighter planes is hyper useful for Saudi Air Force, particularly Saudi air sovereignty against Bangladeshi terrorist Jia. And hence, here is my question for Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. So why should we Saudi leadership tolerate the existence of Palestinian children? Here is my questions. And now I think you could not provide the answers because you contain no courage to contest the answers that why should I tolerate the existence of Palestinian children when we are Saudi leaderships to protect our Saudi air sovereignty, to eliminate Jia, the Bangladeshi terrorist. Here, I think here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan contains no answers. Or I would think that Maulana Abu Toha Adnan contains no courage to provide the proper answers at the moment. Okay, and now let's check it the ones in now irony is that in another areas, or we can say in another topics, here Maulana Abu Taha Adnan wants Sharia laws in Bangladesh. Maulana Abu Taha Adnan wants Islamic Khilafat in Bangladesh. Okay? Now, when Maulana Abu Taha Adnan would establish Islamic Khilafat in Bangladesh, it is their matters. But, well, Maulana Abu Taha Adnan cuts Saudi leadership as and Maulana Abu Taha Adnan addressed Saudi leadership to be Munafiki Musliman just because we Saudi leadership do not tolerate the existence of Palestinian children, and we support Israeli leadership to protect the Saudi air sovereignty. That is the problem of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan at the moment. Okay. Now here we can see it is the points of Saudi F-35 fighter planes. Okay, now here that is the moments I would mention the points. Now here the significant momentums as we could see. Let's check the points. What is here Saudi naval submarines at the points. Saudi wants naval submarines that Saudi can travel 10,000 kilometers in 50 hours to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorist Jaima Jia in Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. I'm in Chittagong, the city of Bangladesh at the moment. Okay, and here we can see that is the moments. Well, I think here we contains the significant lower each live streams just because here it was delay times of 10 hours when we were discussing on Mamata Bandapadaya's divitations, and now here none of our points is interested in. So Maulana Abu Taha Adnan, here I can understand. Well. Now here we can see that is the one points at the moment. I think I should take a break and I should come with the topics with another live streams. See you then. Kota Hafiz. Love you.